He was born in 1887, and he lived in Priory Grove. He was the youngest of 6 children. Not much is known because my grandmother didn't have a lot of contact with her in-laws, as it were. Early days he was a delivery chappie at 13. Had started work quite young. He'd been to Slade School, and then he became a house decorator. His wife-to-be lived in St Stephen's Street, and they got married on the 25th of December 1912 in St Stephen's Church. And they lived at what was then called New Cottage, Summerhill, which is the cottage on the corner just past the entrance to Summerhill. They lived there. His early military service, when the war broke out, was he was with the Kent Cyclists, which was a local army brigade, but they amalgamated into the Royal Engineers, and he worked on the Kent coastal works. That's, making sure the Kent coast was safe in the Royal Engineers style. Now,
and in April 1916 they went to France.
So many men have been slaughtered. Although he was a father of children, he had to go. That was it.
And his first real battle was the Somme, and the notes that we were given showed that he was in the front line repairing trenches and that at the first day of the Battle of the Somme.
He did a number of other battles, didn't he? Which in fact was Passchendaele. And then we come to Cambrai.
November 17.
There was a programme on the radio about where people were buried with Commonwealth war graves. Now, our father always said, if he ever talked about his father, he's buried in France. So you said, well, you ring them up. And off you plotted to the garden. So I rang, and they asked a few questions, and then they said, Herbert Arthur Killick is buried, plot 1A1, Ohlsdorf, Hamburg. And I did ask them to repeat that, because I really could not believe that we should be so far out. And I went out and told you, and you said to me,
oh, unrepeatable. And I said, no one's ever been there. And I just cried, because I knew that no one had ever visited that grave.
What had happened was they'd taken the prisoners, and because he was a sergeant, they removed him and one other man from the group of prisoners and moved them.
They went somewhere in France,
and then they moved them into Germany, into northern Germany. And the last camp he was at, we've actually been past the town, haven't we? Mecklenburg, and I think they were mines.
Short mines.
Whatever happened, he was taken ill, and they moved him to a military hospital in Hamburg, where he died on the 22nd of June 1918. I feel honoured. I used to make him a little promise, one day people would know about you, and now they do.